Hello, sunshine. Welcome to CoolHouseConnection. I'm your host, Deb Deckhand, and today we're easing into one of my favorite uplifting topics, beauty. If you are a regular listener, thank you. You already know this podcast comes out of an appreciation for interesting locations in the North Carolina mountains and the cool real estate we find here. If you're a new listener, welcome. Today we're going to start talking about beauty in both the natural world and the man-made world of cool houses and furnishings. Specifically, I want to do a deeper exploration of the art scene here in the mountains. Beauty may be in the eye of the beholder, but trust me when I tell you there is an abundance of riches in art to behold in our mountains. If we look back to where and how the arts have developed here, it is simple, it's organic, and it's somehow inevitable. Arts are, frankly, as natural here as breathing. Our rich and diverse history in the arts is deeply intertwined with a natural beauty, cultural heritage, and community spirit. Southern Appalachia has nurtured artistic expression for generations, ranging from traditional crafts to contemporary visual arts and performing arts. Some of the earliest prompts to create came from our indigenous forefathers. Long before European settlement, Native American tribes, particularly the Cherokee, inhabited our area. They brought artistic traditions that included basket weaving with pine needles, pottery, and intricate beadwork. These were both utilitarian and decorative. These traditions laid the groundwork for the appreciation of handcrafted items and skills that we celebrate and cultivate today. I got the chance to indulge in the art of beadwork taught by one of our locals recently. It was a Sunday afternoon Episcopalian meetup, and for a person with no notable crafting skills whatsoever, I found myself drawn to the stories that still get told through the expression of time-honored beading. As settlers arrived in the 18th and 19th centuries, they brought their skills and crafts with them. The rural community engaged in handmade arts as a necessary part of life, included quilting, woodworking, and metalwork. These crafts were not only functional, but they also displayed creativity and cultural identity. In fact, if you wander the secondary roads of Yancey County, you'll find yourself intrigued by the unique quilt squares on homes and buildings, each evoking a personal passion. The one we commissioned for our first home in Yancey County still proudly displays my husband's passion for the sulfur molecule. Quilting is not unique to Yancey County, but I'd venture to say not many towns have retail specifically devoted to creating, teaching, and nurturing the skills of quilting. Burnsville does, and has for over a generation. The early part of the 20th century saw the resurgence and explosion of folk arts. In fact, it was the 1933 World's Fair that prompted local Lucy Morgan to load up a wagon of Appalachian crafts to show the world just what and how folks here in the hollers expressed the beauty that surrounded and encouraged them. What Lucy started with that wagon trip north eventually morphed into our beloved Penland School of Crafts, and the spark was lit. As the folk arts began to receive renewed attention, particularly as the American public started to rediscover traditional crafts, Yancey County played a significant role in this folk art revival. Local artisans began producing work that reflected their heritage, including pottery, weaving, and folk painting. Now not just for their own pleasure, but for outsiders who were captivated by the skill and care and love that these crafts represented. The establishment of organizations dedicated to the arts in the mid-20th century helped to promote artistic endeavors. Events like the Yancey County Arts Council, now the Toe River Arts, fostered a sense of community around the arts and organized exhibitions, workshops, and cultural events that showcased local talent. In the wake of that resurgence, Penland got seriously underway in its core disciplines and began offering fellowships and immersive classes which continue to draw talent from around the globe today. The annual Penland auction is one of the most highly esteemed fundraisers in the entire country. It's true that like attracts like, and similarly drawn talent pools and disciplines began to organize into collectives. As the collectives began to grow, the momentum kept drawing artists from other locales, which built on and encouraged the amazing talents of the local artists. Folks like Harvey Littleton, William Bernstein, Cynthia and Edwina Bringle, Elizabeth Smith, and so many others. Throughout the 20th century, many artists settled in Yancey County, drawn by its scenic beauty and vibrant community. These artists put Burnsville and Yancey County on the radar of serious art makers and appreciators across the nation and the world. They contributed to the area's recognition as an artistic haven. Studios began popping up, and many artists found inspiration in the natural surroundings. Art fills our lives and homes here. I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that our Toe Rivers Arts Council hosts a summer and early winter open studio tour. On these magic weekends, residents and visitors alike can see and experience more than 85 artists in their environment creating real time. These tours are what connect artists to appreciators as friends and as neighbors. Some of the breakout talents that have exploded onto the national scene from the studio tour include Alex Bernstein, Robert Levin, and Janine Marchand. But it's not all fancy dancy when it comes to the arts. Arts here are accessible to all. Toe River Arts and its Deckhand Gallery feature regular exhibits and creations from local artists, as well as offer up a salon atmosphere for folks of all walks of life to engage with art and artists. The Mount Mitchell Arts and Crafts Fair, held early August in and around Burnsville Town Square, is the granddaddy of all craft shows. Continuously running for more than 70 years, this festival is carefully curated to ensure only lovingly handcrafted wares are available. The craft fair is the high point of the summer season, which also features Fire on the Mountain in Spruce Pine, highlighting the gorgeous metal and ironworking heritage of these hollers. It's impossible to talk about the legacy of metalworks in this region without giving a special shout out to the man and his MW studio, whose creations grace many of our homes. Mark Woodham is a celebrated artist whose original passion was glassblowing. Originally from South Carolina and one half of the One-Eared Cow Glass Studio, Mark, a few lucky years ago, felt compelled to migrate north to Burnsville and to expand his repertoire beyond glass into metal and wood. The name of his studio here is aptly named MW Studio, a nod to both his name and his current mediums of choice. To say Mark's creations are unique is to seriously underestimate the way they captivate the soul. My husband and I are admittedly MW devotees. Our homes have been graced with his incredible work since he arrived in town. We got to know Mark in the early days when his studio doubled as his home and had the joy of seeing how his life story infused his work. Metalworking is incredibly physically demanding. Sculpturing in metal is even more so. One of Mark's seminal work is a 12-foot tall tribute to Sitting Bull that he crafted from memory of a charcoal drawing of the chief that hung in his grandfather's living room when he was a child. That public art sculpture boasts 8 miles of stainless steel cable hair. Try to imagine for a minute what devotion and technique it takes to translate a 2-dimensional childhood art memory into a perfectly executed 3-dimensional work that will someday grace the entrance to a resort. While Chief Sitting Bull was under construction, Mark envisioned and executed some of the most exciting stair railings, archery bows, lamps, fireplace screens, and tables that this area has ever seen. Imagine a cocktail cart that moves on a graceful set of giraffe legs carved out of exotic woods, or the forever favorite piece that is the focal point of our current living room. When most mere mortals conjure up images of cool chairs, those images usually don't include vertebrae, scorpion stingers, orange leather pods, or goat hooves. But when Mark Woodham's inventive brains and hands undertake a project like crafting a cool chair, you get all this and so much more. This particular piece is that object of curiosity that visitors to our home cautiously walk around, investigate, and question. And when they finally get up the nerve to try it out, they find only that it looks cool, but it's also incredibly comfortable, and with its floating pods, almost massage-like. After the initial trepidation, it's often tough to get anyone to allow anyone else to try it out. Mark keeps stretching his skills and creativity into beautiful commissions, big and small. Walk into his studio and you will find inspiration and appreciation anew for the beauty that reflects our mountain's rugged soul. Another of my favorites is Selena Glass and Metal, featuring the bright, happy work of Chuck Young and his former life partner, Dina Blanchard. Renowned for their incorporation of bright, intense colors into inventive sculptures and functional art, this duo has represented the best of art you love living with. The techniques they have pioneered over their partnership are breathtakingly rich and beautiful. I'm always drawn to homes here that are confident in how they present. The rarefied ambiance of Mountaineer Country Club boasts several, even a couple of which are currently on the market. One condo features a Mark Woodham staircase railing, which literally transformed the interior from average to exceptional. Another fully furnished home on the mountain benefits from Mark's original lamps, occasional tables, and fireplace screen. And off the mountain, there's an available half share of a mountain home featuring a Mark Woodham original queen bunk bed with trundle. It showcases Mark's interpretation of the genius Anton Gaudi. In several nooks of this particular home and gardens, the seminal work of Selena Glass and Metal also shine. This particular unique tenant in common opportunity is just $500,000. As always, if any of these opportunities pique your interest, I and Ryan would love to show them to you and help you use vetted crypto to purchase them, should that be of interest. Burnsville is not the only arts community in western North Carolina, but the arts here are our lifeblood. They play a critical role in our local economy, attracting tourists who come to experience the region's natural beauty and vibrant arts community. Our artisan and craftspeople contribute to a thriving economy while providing a window into Yancey County's rich heritage. I hope you enjoyed this short wade into the deep waters of arts and man-made beauty in Yancey County. There is much more to the fuller picture of Yancey County beauty, which we'll explore in future episodes. Please be sure to share this podcast with your friends and keep listening. Don't hesitate to call if I can be of any help to you. Stay cool.